Nikolai Alexandrovich Kozyrev is one of those scientists who dared to be bold. An astronomer, a man with his own distinct opinion and an extremely mysterious personality. Many of his colleagues considered him crazy because they could not accept his theory of time, one of the strongest nails hammered in the coffin of classical physics. But this remarkable Russian scientist became world famous, not for this theory, but for his mirrors. After experiments involving hundreds of people, some participants were able to learn new languages in just minutes. Others sent information across the planet instantly, and others became capable of solving extremely complicated mathematical equations. And all of this was due to the fascinating phenomenon known as the Kozyrev mirrors effect. Today, we'll explore in detail the origins of this idea and what it has to do with time travel. Welcome. For Newton, time was something given by God. Einstein defined it as a persistent illusion, explaining that it depends upon the observer's position in space, their velocity, and gravity itself. Modern-day quantum physics demonstrates that time is a function of motion. It emerges only if movement is present. It might sound slightly eccentric to simultaneously invoke two contradictory theories, those of Einstein, for example, and the physicist John Bell. But there is a theory called theory of cogitality that uncovers these connections between them, and together with the Casimir effect, they have an answer for the riddle of time. At the core of this theory stands the assertion that everything is mental, derived from the Latin cogito, meaning I think. Matter, atoms, gas, visible and invisible things alike, all are pure energy, mental, informational fields that just look to us like matter. This resonates deeply with the research conducted by Russian scientist Nikolai Kozyrev, specifically regarding the effect of mirrors on the density and flow of time. Before we proceed, please make sure you've subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell. A deep bow and sincere thanks to every one of you here faithfully following all episodes. This truly means a lot. We're preparing many surprises that I'm certain you'll enjoy, satisfying your curiosity and perhaps even more. But what exactly? I guess we'll see. In September 2010, the authoritative Journal of Personality and Social Psychology published an article by renowned American physicist Professor Daryl Bem, a specialist in social psychology who claimed people could receive signals from the future. Strange, but most of these signals were weak but entirely creditable, the author emphasized. The professor's conclusions were based on repeated experiments with 1,100 of his students. In front of each participant was a computer monitor divided into two equal parts, covered by a curtain impenetrable to light. Participants had to guess on which half an image would appear. The images were randomly generated by a computer, and an important detail: the images appeared with a delay, specifically 2.54 seconds after the participant made their guess. So, when the images had emotional content, for example, erotic scenes, the correct answers rose to 63% compared to only 50% accuracy with neutral images. Because the results of numerous trials were consistent, Professor Bem rightfully concluded: the future sends emotional hints, and some participants managed to catch them. A crucial detail was that each participant wore a concave mirror created according to Nikolai Kozyrev's specifications. At the beginning of February 2012, on the remote northern Russian island of Dixon, experiments began with devices known as the Kozyrev mirrors. Most often, these were made of aluminium spiral sheets, although copper, silver, and other metals were also used. It was experimentally proven that the mental capacities of people staying within the mirror's focal area for several hours multiplied significantly. They processed information 5-6 times faster, and their brains operated 3-4 times more efficiently than normal. Participants reported extraordinary sensations during these experiments. Some felt they were directly involved in historical events from centuries ago. Others moved objects without physical contact, received telepathic messages, or experienced strange, vivid visions. Clearly, the Kozyrev mirrors provided previously unimaginable new capabilities to humanity. On October 5, 1996, in St. Petersburg, Natalia Yaselchuk, niece of the famous Russian artist Mikhail Ugrinov, stepped into the bathtub of her apartment. I filled the bathtub, added mineral salts and algae, and then got inside. After 10 minutes, suddenly the image of Uncle Misha appeared on the bathroom wall, formed from salt crystals and green algae. She recounted. While she was relaxing in her bath, Mikhail Ugrinov had attempted to call her by telephone at that exact moment. When I called him, she says, he said he had participated in a fascinating experiment precisely at that moment, standing inside a Kozyrev mirror. He had been thinking intensely about me while I was taking my spa treatment. Kozyrev's devices and their operating principles seemed capable of materializing human thought. According to Kozyrev's theory, inside the mirrored space, the density of time changes, perhaps affecting heightened, supersensitive perceptions. But what makes these mirrors so special? Like flat mirrors, they reflect visible and invisible energies, etheric human emanations, and even amplify them. But concave mirrors have a significant difference: their focal point. Florentine academics first encountered this effect experimentally back in 1667. They placed a concave mirror at a considerable distance from a block of ice weighing 200 kilograms and discovered that the air temperature at its focal point sharply dropped. They concluded that cold could radiate, though according to the known laws of thermodynamics, heat leaves rather than cold entering the mirror's focus. Why do I tell you this? Because it demonstrates that mirrors can transmit and receive information. If you can remember only this from this episode, it will be enough. Because information is what we truly are, into the form, forming a formation, into the formation itself. Formation of what? Frequency, energy, and vibration. Satellite antennas, radio towers, and radio frequencies operate precisely on this exact principle. These experiments were among the first global attempts to transmit information between humans separated by thousands of kilometers without conventional technological means. Russian Academy of Medical Sciences academician Kozyrev shared one such experience. On December 18, 1991, an unplanned session for image transmission took place. Participant Dolgopiatov installed an information package, and participants hundreds of kilometers apart simultaneously perceived parts of this program. Analysis confirmed simultaneous perception of information introduced earlier into Earth's informational space. We approached proof of interconnectedness of intellectual fields, acknowledging that the human mind can receive information independent of geography and time. Now that is quite remarkable, isn't it? Because our mind is far more powerful than we think. I'm not sure that we even understand what we're capable of. Because there is this idea that this physical body is only like an Airbnb. You rent it for a week, for a month, or even a year, and then you change the apartment. Well, this body is like that. But imagine something far more than the speed of light. Imagine something so fast that it looks slow or even still. This is the idea that we move, our mind, our consciousness moves so fast that we cannot perceive this speed, and it looks like it's still matter. Kozyrev argued time itself was material, transporting energy faster than the speed of light. It could influence events by supplying or absorbing energy. Experiments demonstrated that people placed within these mirrors' focal areas could transmit and receive thoughts across great distances. Today, Koserev mirrors still exist and are increasingly utilized. They often take the form of cabins with mirrors surrounding participants who become the intersection point, the focus. Because your focus, your point of attention, is where the truth stands, your personal truth. Your focus of attention is where space and time become one, and you perceive your own reality. The Koserev mirrors are an actual thing, and once they were only for scientific research. Now they are available all over the world. So I suggest, if you really want to try this, I've been to some, and it's a really interesting experience. First, you somehow escape this idea of space, because you see how big the mirror is, and when you get in to this focal point, when you close your eyes, this space dimmers. It's really strange to explain, but it becomes very big and very fluid. It's like it's there and it's not there. Really strange. But if you have, check your nearest Koserev mirror, someone who has one inside of their apartment, and go and check for yourself, because the options of what you can experience in those types of structures are infinite. Strange phenomena regularly occur within these mirrors, though perhaps we shouldn't call them strange. Rather, they might be completely normal within the Koserev mirror's unique context. For example, Russian professor Ernst Moldashev, known for his expeditions in Tibet, described encountering massive stone structures resembling Kozerev's time mirrors. Tibetan lamas also called these structures mirrors and believed those who entered their influence could experience their entire life in a single moment. Imagine that. According to some researchers, stone can receive, stabilize, and transmit time energy. Tibetan texts state clearly, thought is time, and humans think through the energy of time. During Moldashev's search for the city of the gods, his team discovered the largest formation of pyramids located around sacred Mount Kailash in Tibet. They counted over 100 pyramids and stone monuments arranged in a circle around the central pyramid, rising to 6,700 meters. Stone structures resembling mirrors stood out, potentially influencing temporal characteristics. It's perhaps related to the strange deaths of 4 mountaineers who appeared to age dramatically within just 1 year, possibly due to these stone mirrors. Modern science is barely beginning to acknowledge these energies, and we still lack significant breakthroughs or equipment to measure them effectively. But it seems clear that those who constructed the Kailash mirror pyramid complex thoroughly understood the subtle energies of time and even how to control them. When do you think we will uncover these knowledges for ourselves? I do personally believe that it's already out there, but we are not still allowing ourselves to understand, to dive deeper into those concepts. Trofimov recounted, when we place a researcher in Kozerev's mirror installation, a plasma explosion suddenly occurred inside. Then, luminous disc-like objects began appearing overhead. These events repeated several times, followed by extraordinary phenomena, streams of glowing symbols, and signs appearing in the space around us. Many of these symbols were similar to those from ancient Sumerian culture, suggesting a historical, informational field had slipped into our dimension. Kozyrev stated explicitly that we could observe and shield ourselves from the flow of time using metallic plates, glass, ceramics, even mirrors. Could these mirrors become telescopes through time, helping us explore distant cosmic worlds? This question remains open, but undoubtedly the Kozyrev mirrors are true, and they represent an essential step forward in understanding our universe. Perhaps Kozyrev's mirrors are just a stepping stone, a subtle crutch that allows us to tap into the infinite informational field, gently reminding us of abilities we've always possessed but somehow forgotten. In reality, their greatest power may simply lie in showing us clearly what we ourselves are truly capable of probably manipulating time, space, and reality itself. I personally believe that each one of us originates from the same source. Doesn't matter how we call it. It doesn't care. We carry within us this natural connection to all the knowledge in the universe. If we can truly awaken to this connection, if we allow ourselves to feel it fully, we won't need devices or mirrors to access wisdom that has always been within reach. In that moment, Kozyrev's mirrors become nothing more than the first step towards a deeper realization of who we truly are. Because we are far more powerful than we realize. We are this field itself. We are the information itself. We are the light and the energy itself. It's entirely up to us to decide when we are ready to embrace it and to use it. How can we use it? We could start by training our minds to be conscious around the things that are happening around us, to train our systems of belief to allow new perspectives, new points of view that maybe sound, just maybe, a little bit strange, silly, unknown, fantastic, fantasy. Allow them in our minds, and maybe, just maybe, we will be open for what comes next in the near future. Thank you, my friends, for watching this episode until the end. It's always an honor. It's always a privilege. It's a pleasure to be able to deliver and to comment on this information for you. My name is Tony, or Stoyan Valkov, and think about this. How far do you think we can go if we ourselves are a product of light itself? What is in us that makes us so unique and so special that till today even our own scientists, archaeologists, and researchers don't even fully know our mind-body structures? How many years have passed and yet we know this little? Think about this. Think about the idea that 95% of the oceans around our world are not yet been explored. Think about the idea that you just that you contain the information of the whole universe and existence itself, and the universe and existence itself contain the information about you. This is stripped in an infinite cycle, like a Mobius strip. Cheers for now, and I'll see you in the next one.